I know one of the criticism I have is that I don't heal the Hi, I'm miltonchang of Bonsaiheirloom. I have 4 Zelkova trees here. This is a Japanese Zelkova, and most people do not know there's a Chinese Zelkova, in the sense that most of the trees sold here, Zelkovas, are Japanese Zelkova. They're different. The Chinese Zelkova tend to have smoother leaves, the leaves reduced much smaller, whereas the Japanese Zelkova has slightly rougher leaves and doesn't reduce quite as much because the leaves are bigger. And so this is a Japanese Zelkova, and that's also a Japanese Zelkova. Then this one has got an even more interesting tree story. So this tree I bought in Shanghai, that's at least 25 years ago, to also doing a trade show. I did a lot of traveling to do trade shows for my company. And it was a little tree about this diameter in a little bonsai pot. I bought it at the Shanghai Botanical Garden, which has a really, really nice bonsai display. But they also sell little trees for beginners. And I took it to Hong Kong and left it there for probably a couple of years. And then my wife brought it back on the airplane. At that time, you're allowed to up to maybe 10 trees. And so this is the tree. When it got back, I took a cutting, about this size cutting, I planted it in the ground. And look at how big the tree that is now. It's a towering tree in my sand garden that's about 40, 60 feet tall. And when the leaves are, it's really beautiful. The shape is really beautiful. It's really, the branch separates out nicely without pruning. So what I'll do is also clean this one up and to show you how the Chinese Zelkova behaves. And then today I dug this tree up probably a month and a half ago, but I put it in a pot, a growing pot, and I just pulled it out this morning to make it into a bonsai to show you the process. And this one I just cut up. It's a Japanese Zelkova. It was a tall tree I bought in the nursery, and I just chopped it. And what I expect is the shoots starting to come out in a few months, in a few weeks, and then I'll start to do a broom style, because a lot of people are interested, a lot of my audience are interested in broom style, and that is a beautiful form. And you can see there are little hidden buds around. So it should shoot out everywhere quite quickly, and then I'll try to make it into a nice broom style to show you how the process works. It's actually a very easy style to make. With that in mind then, maybe I should start with this one. The main focus of today's demo is about this tree. I start with the apex down, and I'll clean up. You can see the buds are starting to come out. Zelkova tend to much later than elm, but they once they get started, they get green out pretty quickly. So let me find the front. So the problem with this tree is that this root is quite a bit far down than this side, but I suppose it's okay. So I need to decide on what is the good. That makes it hard to make this one the apex. So the apex has got to be this one in this area. So with that in mind, then I would just probably cut off this one. I don't need to have two apex, I guess. So let me work on that, clean up a bit, and then work on it. So I think this will be the front, taking advantage of this root and this root, one towards the front, one towards the back, to accentuate the width of the tree. And so with that in mind, then let me clean off some of the redundant branch so I can see where I'm going. I guess it's okay to use this side as the apex rather than this. So I can use this as the apex and go from there. So with that in mind, then let me just start clipping. And this one, I think it's very useful to have the branch cutter to cut off closely. The wood of Zelkova trees are rather hard, so it takes a little bit more effort to cut. But the clipper should work fine. And so this will come out this way, this will come up That gave me a little bit, and then I probably don't need this one, so I'll cut that off. Then I can use this to clean it up. So this can have the branch coming down. And like I said, I have to be very careful, cut it about just where the bud is. There's a bud right here, so I will encourage this branch to come out this way. So this would be my branch coming out this way, and then this coming out this way. Again, try to find a bud, which doesn't look like there's anything real close. That's the problem with Zelkova. So I started here. Hopefully something below will come out. I suppose I could make this the apex and use this to grow to the side. So if that's the case, I will, yeah, okay, that's not bad. You see, here's a bud, here's a bud, here's a bud, so I can cut it here, and it will branch out. And I'm not going to do cutting. It's a little bit kind of the, I probably will go to a Zelkova tree to get cuttings rather than from this one. And I'll probably do more the Chinese Zelkova than the Japanese Zelkova, because they really do make smaller leaves bonsai. You see, like these little stubs, they never shoot out above the bud. So in a way, it will be a double trunk. We shall see. I got plenty of time to make that adjustment later. So I need to clean off a little bit more. And occasionally, the one annoying thing about actually probably Japanese Zelkova is that a branch will die off, and that kind of screws up your design. So you have to water very carefully. Don't ever let it dry out, and to avoid that disaster, because you have to it will take time to recreate those the design. So Zelkova is not as good a tree for bonsai as elm, but still it's a very nearly the same material. They're not the same family, actually, I was told, but it's a very nice material for bonsai. You can see the branches died off. That just cut off. Oh, okay, so this is not bad. You got trees coming up here, coming up here, coming up here. So it's kind of a, okay, so like this one, I have to be careful. Like this one, it's got a bud right here and a bud here. So let me cut off here, because I can always cut off later. That's unsightly little knob, stub. And it will heal over when I cut it close. I usually don't like a branch coming out of the crotch, so I cut that, because that's nature doesn't let it to grow. It will gird it naturally by growth. And this one, actually I bought a whole bunch of these, and then I planted them saplings about this big. And this is about 10 years ago. It's grown fairly rapidly in the ground. I dug it up, like I said, maybe a couple of months ago, and I just took it out of the pot to hold it. Then I do this bonsai. So here it is. So let me turn it around. I think this would be the front, and then you can see it looks kind of good all around. But we shall see. I would get it done and show you what the tree looks like, and then do the fine tuning, cleaning up. But you can see the main branches are all there, so it should look reasonably nice. So this is my about a 50-year-old Zelkova. As I mentioned, I took a seed from Rochester, New York at a trade show, and I planted it, and it's not that size. I actually planted it in the ground, and I should really work on the rootage a little bit more and maybe give it a little bit of more tilt, a better angle or something. But I think basically it's done. So what I today would do is that I would prune the excess leaves so that all the energy will go into the new growth. I repotted this about several months ago, actually in the fall. And so you can see I used the nursery screen for shade cloth for root pruning, and it should work fine. And then you also want you to know that you have to be very vigilant to get rid of the Irish moss. Otherwise, they take over the pot real quickly with runners and with. Aside from that, there's really no maintenance. I should really take a chisel to cut off, for example, this root. It's distracting from the radially going out roots, and also cut off this root maybe this way, so that the roots will come out this way and this way. But I have time, no hurry, and like this one, I probably should cut off this one so that it's coming on from the bottom. Just a little fine tuning over time. But today, let me just clean up this tree so that I can give you an update with these 4 Zelkovas as a group. I do that probably in the springtime and then 2 or 3 times during the year, and that's all I need to do to maintain the tree. Once it's established, when you're developing it, it takes quite a bit of effort to maintain it because it grows very rapidly. But with the increased ramification, all you need is a little cleanup and you're done. I mainly cut off the bottom branch, which doesn't belong. Cut off any unnecessary branch so that the energy will go into the remaining branch. Takes about a minute to clean off each branch, so it'll be about 10 minutes. You have to be a little careful. Some of the branches looks like there, but it's dead. It tends to do that sometimes, so then you want to make sure you don't cut off the live branch nearby to assume you got a branch there. It doesn't quite do it. The first thing you do is just cut off the bottom branch because that's distracting from the main design. I'm almost done. This is 3 branches done. There's about 6 of them. So I'm halfway done. Today what I did is I took this old Japanese Zelkova that I started from a seed about 50 years ago, did the fine pruning, and I will let the tree grow to thicken the branches and increase the ramification. You can see this is the front right now, And I may increase the depth by twisting this a little bit so that you have more this towards the front and this towards the back and this towards the front. And you don't want this to be poking your eyes, so this is about the front, optimally the front. And so when I repot it the next time, that's what I'll do, turn this, to make this the front, so it will be probably a 30-degree turn. So now let's take a look at the tree all around. It's actually pretty good all around, and that's what you should shoot for, although you give it a little bit more benefit of doubt to make the front better. And I did not. I know one of the criticism I have is that I don't heal the wounds very much, but I think this is actually a magnificent natural look, because when I was growing the tree, it was a big tree, and I wanted to use this branch, so I cut off the rest of it, and then it heals over that. That makes it look natural. For that matter, this cut here with a big hole, I think that's natural. You know, sometimes a branch falls off in nature, and that's what it does. And like this, I try to make it oblong. When I peel off the trunk, I purposely broke it off without care, so that it's not every hole, every cut is round. So with that in mind, then I pretty much finished with this tree, and I'll move on to work on the next one, which is the little Zelkova. So this is the little Zelkova I bought in Shanghai. So with that in mind, then I would now work on this tree, and then that completes the series of 4 Zelkova. To practice my principle, I should start working from the apex first. So for example, I would gradually pull this one down so I don't break it, so that make this the apex, or for that matter, make this the apex. And then I get rid of this one here. In fact, I would make this the apex, because it's then it comes up in like this. So you see, I cut fairly quickly because I've seen it all. I'm just really subconsciously repeating what I know from other experience from other trees. So the ability to make bonsai quickly, basically what I'm saying is that will increase with experience. So keep going. You know, you're starting off. Don't expect to do what I do, because I have 50 years of experience behind me, but you will get there eventually, okay? So this could have an interesting branch coming out, so I'll leave it alone, but I don't want something to grow back. So I cut off this one, and hopefully this will shoot out to give me some design opportunities. So when in doubt, leave your options open. So I'm just, again, cleaning off branches one at a time to create the effect. And given it's an old tree, I don't want to make it too sparse to have a little dance to give it the feel of age. Whereas when I do a young tree, I tend to be quite dramatic in my cuts, because it's like during the formative stage, you want to be tough, be learning and growing. But once you're mature, you kind of then kind of like go with the flow to understand how it got there, and not trying to make too many drastic changes. And that at the end, that speeds up the process of growing up or maturing. Like they say, old dogs are hard to change, right? And now what I have to do is just to make sure the weeds are not overtaking. Like I have to get rid of this little bit of Irish moss, so it doesn't start to take over, and get rid of the little weeds. So that's what I have to do to maintain it. So you can see this tree looks good all angles. This is not quite as nice because it's kind of a long branch and it's kind of a little bit high. But like this is a nice turn, the older branch looking, but that's why this is in the back. In the front, I think you can see it looks pretty nice with all the age look of this tree. And I would say this is a little bit more than 10 inches, so it's not a shohin, but it's close. In short, this is today is 4 Zelkova trees, Japanese and Chinese Zelkova. To give you a feel of Zelkova, how you may encounter in Zelkova, please click like. I need the encouragement, and I like the brownie points, frankly. Subscribe to our channel so that we can notify you of future video. Please stay tuned and send us your opinion and your email address so that we can notify you of future announcements as well as when we have trees ready for sale. So with that then, thank you very much, and I hope to see you soon.